What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new review. For today I have a new smartwatch called the Zeblaze Thor S. So this watch costs about $130 to $140 depending where you buy it from, and it's using the MTK 6580 CPU, which is a quad-core CPU that's paired with 1 GB of RAM and 16 GB of internal storage. This watch is also running Android 5.1 and this is a full version of Android 5.1. Since the watch is running Android 5.1, we also have access to the Google Play Store, so you can download any apps available in the Google Play Store. So for example, you can download Chrome, you can download the YouTube app, you can play games, so pretty much anything that you do with the smartphone you can do with this watch. But keep in mind that this is a watch and it's very small. The watch has 3G connectivity as well and can take a SIM card, but if you don't have a spare SIM card, you can just connect this to your smartphone and it works just as well. We also have a GPS unit inside this watch, so you could technically use Google Maps, but it takes a while for the watch to find your location, so be prepared to wait for like 20 to 30 seconds to find your location. We also have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, and that means that you can connect any Bluetooth headphones and you can listen to music right from this watch, so you don't have to connect the Bluetooth headphones to your smartphone. So for example, you can save music onto the watch, or if you have a SIM card inside, you can just use your data to listen to online music. The watch itself, it's mostly made out of plastic and it looks very sporty, so if you're not into sporty watches, this is probably not for you. We also have a 5 megapixel front-facing camera, and I think this is the first watch that I've seen that had a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. So what could you possibly use this camera for? Well, if you're into video calling or anything like that, you could use the camera for video calling, or if you like taking selfies with your watch, you could take selfies with the watch. Of course, the quality isn't the best out there, but it's acceptable for a watch. The straps are made out of rubber, they don't feel bad, but they're not replaceable, so you have to take that into consideration because you're not going to be able to replace them, so you're going to be stuck with them till they break basically, and when they break, well, the watch is kind of done. On the back of the watch we have a little plastic door that covers the SIM card slot. We also have the heart rate monitor and the connectors for the charger. The charger is not the greatest out there in my opinion, so it attaches to the back of the watch, but every time you move the watch the charger kind of disconnects, and of course you cannot use the watch while you are charging it. And talking about charging, well, inside this watch you have a 350 mAh battery. Now you can kind of make it through an entire day, but it really depends how you're gonna use the watch. Because if you get a lot of notifications, if you keep the screen on for a longer period of time, you're gonna have to charge this watch twice throughout the day. Now, if you don't get that many notifications, if you barely touch the screen, it's gonna last for a couple of days, but again, it really depends how you use the watch. On the left hand side of the watch, we have the power button and the speaker, and the speaker gets loud enough for a watch. I mean, you're not gonna have a party from your watch, but if you have any phone calls, you can hear the other person fine. And on the other side we have two more buttons and a microphone. On the front of the watch we have a metallic bezel around the 1.39 inches Super Amoled screen, and supposedly the screen is also covered by Gorilla Glass 4, but I can't really confirm that. The screen has a resolution of 400 by 400, the colors are super vibrant and the viewing angles are really good as well, but that's normal for Super AMOLED displays. Now the screen gets bright enough so you can actually use it outside, so it doesn't matter where you are, you're gonna be able to see the screen very well. Unfortunately, the screen can only register one touch at a time, but that's kind of normal for smartwatches, and to be honest, I don't really remember any watch that had like a multi-touch screen. So you're not gonna be able to zoom in on pictures or anything like that. Typing it's also possible on the screen, but keep in mind that the watch is kind of small, so typing on that small keyboard it's somewhat difficult. Of course, since this is running a full version of Android, you have access to Google Now and you can basically ask Google for information. So if you want to check the weather, you can just ask for it and you don't have to type anything. And if you install a different keyboard, you can dictate anything to the watch. The watch comes pre-installed with a whole bunch of watch faces as well, and that's great because we usually get bored of the same watch face, and changing in between watch faces is very simple as well. So all you have to do is keep your finger pressed on one watch face and then you can just select a different one, and there are a whole bunch that come pre-installed. Whenever you get bored of those, you can install even more, and there are a whole bunch available for download. And since we have 16 gigs of internal storage, you're not gonna be running out of space anytime soon, so you can basically install all the watch faces that are available for this watch. Using the watch is very simple. So from your watch face, if you swipe left, you get to see whatever notifications you have available. If you swipe down, you get into a quick toggle menu, and then you can turn on or off the Wi-Fi, you can turn on or off the Bluetooth connectivity and check the weather. And if you swipe up, you get to see how many steps you've done, the distance that you've done for that particular day, and how many calories you've burned. Now, since we are talking about activities, so like walking, running, or anything like that, unfortunately the watch doesn't have anything like that built in. So you may be able to download some apps from the Google Play Store so you can monitor your walking sessions or your running sessions, so you can take advantage of the GPS unit inside. But as the watch comes from the factory, there is nothing installed. And it's the same for the heart rate monitoring. So you can manually start the heart rate monitor, but you cannot have that continuously going throughout the day. So if you're looking for a watch to track all your sporting activities, this isn't the best fit, and I recommend getting something else like the Amazfit Pace or the Amazfit Stratos or anything like that, because those are actually built for sporting activities. This is just a watch that has Android 5 on it. And we are moving on to notifications. So if you have the watch connected to your smartphone, the smartphone can push all those notifications onto the watch. Now, unfortunately, you cannot reply to any notifications. So you can get notifications for new emails, for new tweets, for WhatsApp messages, or pretty much anything that you get on your phone will be pushed onto the watch. But unfortunately, you cannot reply to any notification. Of course, if you have a SIM card inside the watch, then the watch kind of becomes a phone, so then you can send text messages, reply to text messages, and so on. But if you use this connected to your smartphone, you're not going to be able to do that. The app is pretty useless as well, so I mean it's gonna track how many steps you've done throughout the day, it's gonna track the previous days as well, and also the heart rate monitoring whenever you do that. But realistically, you don't really have that many options for the app. I mean, you can change what apps should send notifications to the watch, but other than that, it's pretty much useless. So the watch looks pretty cool. I mean, I can't say that it doesn't look cool. It has a beautiful looking screen. It has a full version of Android, but I find its functionality somewhat limited, because if you already have a smartphone, well, the smartphone can pretty much do everything that the watch can do. I mean, your smartphone probably has a pedometer as well. Well, it may not have a heart rate monitor, but you have to manually do that anyways with the watch. So if you need a watch to use it as a phone, maybe this is gonna make sense. You put a SIM card inside and then you can use this as a regular smartphone. But other than that, I find the functionality somewhat limited, and mostly with that battery life, because I don't want to charge my watch every single day. But again, that's just me, and I've been spoiled by that Amazfit Stratos that lasts for like 7 days on one charge. So yes, it looks very cool, but I don't know how useful this is gonna be. But again, this is gonna depend from person to person and what you do with the watch and how you use it and so on. I mean, maybe you just wanna have some headphones connected to it and just have a whole bunch of songs on the watch and just listen to music from it, or something like that. So it really depends on how you're gonna use it. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.